Everyone?
Hi!
Hey, all right, let's try this again. Hi, everyone.
Hi, Dr. Nick.
Thank you. Yes. So, welcome to Omaha Java User Group for September. I should first mention, if you are here for the Agile meetup, that's over at the other room. You are welcome to stay. We would love to. We would love to have you, but we're gonna talk today about integrated development environments. Doesn't that sound exciting?
Yes.
Yeah. So today is our Eclipse versus IntelliJ Smackdown, Showdown, Fight to the Death, Celebrity Deathmatch, whatever you want to call it, of which we have two champions here to showcase the awesome features that are available in one or the other and try to convince you that it's worth downloading 300 megabytes of jar files to make your life better the next day. So, I'm excited for this. I hope that everyone else is. My name is Matt. I'm not the normal Matt that presents. Matt Payne is unfortunately in California at the moment, so he will be joining us in spirit. But I'll be your MC for tonight, and I'll be the referee that tries to keep these presenters from getting into a fist fight halfway through the event. So I'm just curious, how many of you come in today with a strong opinion on which IDE they like the best? I see just a couple of hands. Okay. How many have used both IntelliJ and Eclipse? So maybe about half of the folks here. How many are open to having their minds changed and to be convinced that one editor is better than the other? All right, not as many people as I was hoping, but still not too bad. Cool. Well, this should still be exciting.
They're still doing an agile talk if you're not open to it.
Yeah. So before we get started, I want to first mention a few just pre-meeting announcements. So first, I want to thank our sponsors. Thank to Tech Systems for providing the pizza and soda tonight. Blue Cross Blue Shield for providing this venue and allowing us to share it with the Agile meetup as well. I want to thank Object Partners for providing one of our champions as well as sponsoring our meetup account. I want to thank JetBrains for providing a free IntelliJ license.
Yay!
So if you are in business, then we'll be raffling that off at the end of the presentation, and hopefully David here has done his job, but we'll find out. And finally, I want to thank Agape Red for providing drinks afterwards. We'll be getting together at DJ's Dugout just to hang out. So, thanks to all our sponsors. We do have one other announcement. If you are into Java, then you're probably into Android as well, or at least you should be. It's the same language, right? So, the Omaha Android Developer User Group, is that right? Is having their next meetup on October 13th. They're going to be talking about some really cool stuff, including new permissions in Android Marshmallow, and Mark here will be demoing a new app that he's made. Anything else you want to add?
I think that's it.
Cool. So you should definitely check that out, and they're also meetup.
Oh, it'll be Object Partners.
Woo! Yes, Object Partners.
Just not 72nd Pacific.
Cool.
Or any office.
Nice.
Just such.
We'll see if I'm here.
Cool. Anyone else?
Above the Pi 5.
Above the Pi 5. Anyone else have any announcements that they want to make beforehand before we get started? If not, I'll introduce our competitors. So today we have the most epic battle of all time, even better than tabs versus spaces. So get excited. So we have champions here who are going to defend the honor of Eclipse and IntelliJ. Standing on the side of Eclipse is Paul Heberlin, developer at Object Partners. Standing up for the behemoth that is the paid version of IntelliJ is David Zeman, a developer at Union Pacific. Here's how this event is going to go. We're going to start where each side is going to have an opening statement where they'll have 10 minutes to demonstrate, kind of introduce you to the editor, just showcase some of the features. Some of this is going to be in video format. And afterwards, then the bulk of our presentation is going to be head-on-head. So we'll have each side kind of demonstrate what they want, request challenges of the other team, or the other developer, and just generally kind of have this cage match battle to the end. And at the end, we'll take Q&As, just general, if you have questions, if you have challenges, if you have gotchas that you want to send from one person to the other, then we'll go for that as well. I think that's basically it. Anything, do you want to shake hands or anything before this gets started?
We did that already.
All right.
It's nothing below the belt.
Yeah, we'll try and keep everything below or above. I don't know.
Above the belt.
I need a coin so that we can start this
Oh,
out.
that's
Oh. We're not gonna go.
I have credit cards on
our
Google Wallet.
Yeah. Does anyone here have a single coin? All right.
Flipping.
Sorry, I got my eyes dilated, so I can't see hardly anything right now. All right.
Oh, that's why.
Does one of the two environments support flipping a coin?
I'll write that up real quick.
Probably for that. All right, Paul, call
Heads.
it. It is tails. David, do you want to go first?
No, I'll let Paul go first.
All right. All right.
Alright.
I will let
Well-
Paul take it from here.
I guess let's see what we had on our wonderful slides here. I guess Matt already covered that. Okay.
Yeah.
So like I said, we've got some pre-made videos here, just to sort of make things hopefully go a little faster. I think you've got one that's just all in together. I still had mine in pieces, so I'll skip part of mine at the end here. Let me get it back so I can actually talk over what is happening. Basically, it's just a simple start from scratch hello world with a unit test. It's pretty simple. You know, we'll watch. It's very exciting to see it scroll through. The only sort of extra plugin that I've got loaded into the bare Eclipse for this portion is one that I found called More Unit, which all it basically does is duplicate the built-in IntelliJ function of going to a unit test by the name. But that was kind of handy, as you'll see. Control J brings that up.
So which version of Eclipse is this?
Oh, this is the latest. This is Mars, the brand spanking new. You know, might as well start from the latest, right?
And how much did this cost you?
Probably about, I don't know, a minute's worth of download time. So here, you know, just using the stub method that did most of that, and then just typing the name. Start off, you gotta have some sort of thing you're testing, so an assertion here. And see that even though I haven't, you know, I've made errors, Control 1 just brings those up so you can try and fix things, tab over, tab back, fix the next error, and then just start running or writing what should fill in there. And then see now that it's happy. One thing that I do like about Eclipse that I maybe is in IntelliJ, but I haven't found yet, is the save action, where you can program it to just do all sorts of things when you hit save. So format your code, organize your imports. That way you can write your code whatever form you like. Sloppy, messy, doesn't matter. As soon as you hit save, it automatically conforms to the project standards. I'm one of those sort of code dictator people that, you know, everything should be exactly the same, no diffs that are strange from formatting errors.
Good question.
Yes.
Can it do auto formatting and all that on the closing braces and all that?
Oh yeah. Well, closing braces, no, I don't think it won't fix errors in your code, but it'll move everything around to be on the separate lines or at the end of the line, whichever way, you know, West Coast, East Coast brackets, whichever form you have, all those sorts of things.
Can I convert my tabs to spaces?
I believe it can.
Yes.
Can I convert my spaces to tabs?
I know.
Don't know.
You can, but why would you?
Yeah, I was gonna say.
So this was another one I was trying to replicate. I couldn't find. You can clone a repo. You can make a new local Git instance, but I couldn't figure out, and maybe someone else can help me here out, how to make it an instance go to GitHub. So that was another I'm
I'll
doing your
show
job for you.
I'll show that off
But
later.
it's built into to IntelliJ there.
I was actually going to give you a freebie. I wasn't going to show that one off.
And this is another one of those sort of minor differences in Eclipse. It's a lot more kind of that enterprise, you must confirm every single thing that you do 5 times sort of thing that I'm a new IntelliJ user, just only 2 months now, so I've noticed some of these differences as I was recreating the talk. I don't know if you even still have. Do you have the get ignore in yours anymore?
Yeah.
Yeah. So IntelliJ also has a really nice built-in get ignore builder. I used this thing that I found online.
Oh, I don't use the get ignore plugin except for syntax highlighting.
Okay. I can't remember where we're at in my video here.
Looks like you push to GitHub and
Alright,
yeah,
so
you're just
then
adding ignore.
the possibly more exciting video next. So now we've made our first branch. We're making a new one, and what we're going to go through now is just introducing Spring and Maven to the project. Filling out all the starter stuff for your Palm.
This definitely is enterprise ready. That's what you're saying.
Right? Yes, exactly. It's got
Does it create your UML diagrams for you?
There is actually an Eclipse plugin that will do that. Yes. It's got this nice little handy, GUI for adding dependencies. You can search whatever Maven repository you're hooked up to, and helping out your case yet again. I could. There is a Maven plugin that lets you search for a class that you want to get, but it was not working in Eclipse because, well, Eclipse. And
Is it because it was enterprise ready?
and so I cheated, and then oh, that's later on, I guess. I'm jumping ahead of myself. Now I'm just running the Maven build to show that it actually used the Maven dependency instead of the JUnit Eclipse library. And this was a fun feature that I found in doing this talk for those of you who are Eclipse users and jealous of the is it Control-Shift-A to find action in IntelliJ? Control-3 in Eclipse brings up this quick access, which doesn't get everything, but it gets to most things that you want to do, like commits or open the database perspective or something like that. And so here's what I was talking about, where I couldn't get the class search to go, so I just had to actually know what different pieces I needed to add. And so you'll watch as like 4 of these come in.
Now, I'll give them this. If you're in an enterprise, you probably have your own repository, and you might have like Sonatype, and you can just find your classes there. I know that's what a lot of people at UP do.
There you go. Yeah, I guess I also had the handicap of being on a old enterprise for most of my Eclipse where we did not use Spring or Maven. We used homegrown Service Factory stuff.
But you were on Ant.
Yes.
All right. So you weren't manually running Java C.
No, we were Ant,
Okay.
and so now all of my actual Spring work has been IntelliJ based.
So I'm assuming that Eclipse also has really good Ant support.
It does have, you can do external tools and all that, yeah.
Okay.
The defeating champion here.
We'll get in there, I'm trying to sort of feign and, like pretending that I'm down. I'll come back later on.
Robodope strategy.
Yeah. It's the pool hall hustler strategy. You wait till all the money's on the table. So yeah, we're just finishing off with all of the Spring goodness here, showing that you can create a class just because you didn't have it defined. pick where it goes. Things that I imagine everyone has probably done before.
So when you downloaded Eclipse, did you get, because when you go to the download page, there's like 70 options.
It
There's
actually
the
has
classic-
changed.
Oh, has it?
Yeah, with
So
ours,
it's-
it's got this fancy installer that then chooses or asks you which of the 70 versions you want.
So is this the Eclipse for Java? Java
This was
EE?
just Java. I didn't
Okay.
do Java EE. There's no web tools. I added the Spring plugins, but then didn't actually need those. I added the Maven plugin, the More unit.
Curious, did you
think
not need
that's
the
it.
Spring because it didn't do anything?
Well, like I said, I've only done Spring work with IntelliJ, so I don't know what the Eclipse Spring plugin
Oh, okay.
has that it lets you do.
Well, maybe when we get to Q&A, the audience can help us, because
There
I
you
don't
go.
know what the Spring plugin in Eclipse
Yeah.
does either.
Well, Spring has their own distribution if you really want Eclipse.
Right,
yeah.
the whole STL.
But I
and
still
all
don't
that.
know what it does.
So that's my opening shot, I guess.
All right.
You good?
Yep.
All right. Wake up. This one goes fast. I combined both of his videos into one. So
Can we turn off the lights?
Yeah, I'll get it.
I remembered halfway through recording this that we have presentation mode, so I apologize. You will be able to read the text after the first half. Same as him, we have a main class. We've got project view here on the left, and it shows you your class structure hierarchy. You've got all your windows around the edges. So, unlike Eclipse, we don't have perspectives. You only have one view. All of your windows are on the sides, viewable all the time. And in a minute here, yeah, we can collapse stuff, real cool. Source is blue. Yeah. Did I play the wrong video? I did play the wrong video. That one. This one goes much faster. So we have a structure view. I'm pretty sure Eclipse has this view too. If we write methods and variables, you'll see them pop up here, and you can double click and jump to them. We have a built-in terminal.
There's a plugin.
Oh yeah, there is a plugin. I tried it, it doesn't work. If we write to-dos, we can see our to-dos, it jumps right to them.
Eclipse has that.
Good, yeah. We can create a run configuration. This will bring us a pop-up. We can go straight to run or debug or run with code coverage, all right there. So we're just going to run it. We can see it pops this up. I like this a lot. You can see collapsed the entire command. This is exactly what IntelliJ ran to get this output. So obviously there was no output because there's no print line. There we see a template for printing the method. And if we run it again, now we have main.main printed. So now we're going to try doing, so no more run configuration, I just deleted it, and I'm going to show you the create. So if you want to customize it before running, we can enable single instance only, so that say you're in the middle of running or you're in the middle of debugging, it will warn you before you try and start another. Got 3 different code coverage options built in. So far everything I've shown you is free. I'll tell you when we get to the paid stuff. You got
IntelliJ's model is that the first hit is free.
I really like this. You've got options you can add. You can chain run configurations together. And unit test time. So I'm going to navigate to the test. This is the Control-Shift-A option, or Command-Shift-A. So it says I don't have a test yet. I don't have the JUnit library, so I'm just going to fix it. Done. That's it. So, JUnit's in the class path. I'm going to write a quick test real quick. It's going to do the same thing as him. It's just going to assert that a method called, I don't know what it's called. It's going to assert that it returns hello. You might be thinking, oh, don't you have a template for that? We'll get to it. There
I
is
was
a,
thinking that.
yeah, there is a template for creating a unit test. I know someone responded to the survey. They weren't sure if IntelliJ supported importing static methods. It does. I use Alt-Enter a lot. That's the generic Control-1 in Eclipse. It fixes everything for you. Alright, so now we can go ahead and run this. I think I just used... Okay, there we go. So that time I did Alt-Insert, and then I selected Setup from the pop-up window. Create my main object, and run it. I think I used Control-Shift F10 for this. Oh, right-click. There we go. We see all unit tests passed. Life's good.
Is that a nice gradient for your green bar? Is that part of IntelliJ?
Yes.
Free.
That's a pretty big feature.
Yeah. So we're just going to write another method just for the sake of... language injection, that's what I'm getting to. IntelliJ supports the ability to inject, to say that this string or this part of the file is a different language than the actual file. So I'm going to write a method that tests if you passed in both a first and a last name. Pretty simple regex check, where we can do name.matches, and I will show you not only language injection, but also the built-in regex checker. Haha. And you'll see as I type into this regular expression box, the same thing pops up in the parameter. As I escape the S for white space, you'll notice 2 slashes pop up in the variable. Who knows regex well enough to actually understand what I'm doing here? Okay. If you don't know regex, download IntelliJ. It'll help you learn it. So when the pattern's good, when my sample works, the box goes green. I do still sometimes pull up like regex or .com or something if I want to know which part of my text is matching what part of the pattern. So you can see we've got different syntax highlighting in that string, and that's the language injection. Actually knows that is not a basic Java string, it's something else. Okay, questions. I've got 3 minutes for questions. Anyone want to see anything?
You said Alt-Enter.
Yes.
Alt-Enter, that brings up IntelliSense or whatever?
It brings up quick fix. You can refactor to change something to public or private. You can insert no, I don't think it does semicolons. I mean, it'll fix semicolons, but not with
Is that the same keystroke for autocomplete?
That would be control space. Yeah. Thankfully, they didn't try and change that. It's still control space, just like everything else in the world.
So Alt-Enter is similar to Eclipse's
Control one.
Control
Yeah.
one.
Okay.
So, any other questions?
For run configuration, I know Eclipse has them too.
Yeah.
In either IDE, is there a good way to package those and share them?
Yes. If I open up, I can click share, and I remember what this says. If you are committing your run configurations to, if you're committing your IntelliJ metadata the .idea folder in the .iml file. If you're committing that to your version control system, share will explicitly put your run configurations in a place that should be committed. Whereas by default, IntelliJ will ignore certain parts of the .idea folder so that you don't accidentally commit personal stuff like run configurations.
I know I'm a little dark, but I'm over here with my.
Yeah.
I didn't see it. I was kind of looking. I can't see it up. I've got glasses. I'm really old. Someone told me I might need bifocals, so you gotta forgive me. I usually use NetBeans. I don't use it that often
Okay.
because I'm sort of a hobbyist. So, and I'm kind of abstract. So please don't explain this in terms of control pluses
Okay.
and control. Just
That's what
give me a
control
little
shift
high
is.
level. So, but I know with NetBeans there's some features where you can see your servers. There's like a server view. Where's
Yeah.
the server view for IntelliJ, and you can see your databases.
It does have
servers.
web applications, databases, all that. It's a little above the intro, and we will get to it, but not in this section.
Okay.
So I think at that point we can move to part 2.
Yeah, so let's move to the next section.
One more.
Oh yeah.
Yes.
I know Eclipse supports quite a few languages. What's IntelliJ support? What languages does it support out of the box?
IntelliJ is a platform similar to Eclipse. IDEA is the name of the Java IDE in the IntelliJ platform. If you purchase IntelliJ IDEA, you also then have access to all of the other paid plugins from IntelliJ, like PHP, Ruby, Python, etc. And their C++ IDE called CLine is brand new. Yeah, isn't that clever? They're working on a community edition, but right now CLine is paid only, and it does not have a plugin for IntelliJ.
Okay, cool. All right, well, let's move on to phase 2. So this is the section of the competition. Can Marcus, can you get just some of the lights maybe?
Like before we jump, since we'd sent out the form, I'd sort of collected up. Ooh, that was really bright. I'd collected up the responses that we got from the user group. Just figured we'd